My father told me when I was a boy, there's two things, son, that if you get involved with them, buy the best you can when it comes to equipment. One is scuba diving and the other is horses. So when it comes to our trailer, we bought the best that our budget would allow, and that really is something I would recommend. We've got a Bachmann. It is a sturdy trailer, it's a safe trailer, as safe as they can get. One of the features of it, I'll just open this up to show you here, it's a well-used Bachmann. The chest bars can be dropped from the outside. You know, if something bad happens there, somebody ends up upside down or he's over the chest bar or something, who knows what could happen there. Getting inside there with your horse, obviously not that safe. But if I could just let that down from out here, that'd be a lot safer. So I can grab anything, rusty old bit of tool kit like this, put it in there, and if I can turn that, you'll see one turn of that, and I can do that by hand. And what'll happen here, and I am obviously going to go inside here and support it, but what's going to happen, I'm going to turn that from out here, and down goes my chest bar. Okay, so I just freed my horse, and I can do that with pressure on it. And as you'll see, there's one there and there's two on the other side, so the back can go down, the side can go down, and we can free the horse from the outside. Okay, this is just a little traveling trail loading tip, but this should help keep you safe on the road. So at some point in your life, you're going to get a blowout or at least a flat tire, okay, when traveling. Obviously you get them on the vehicle, but you can also get them on the trailer. So what you don't want to have to do is you don't have to unload the horses in order to change the tire. And in my opinion, it's not safe to jack the trailer up with the horses in there. So you've got one or two horses in there, they might move around a little bit, it's unstable, it's not great. So introducing the ride-on jack. Now some of you will be very familiar with this, and of course, this is a homemade ride-on jack. You can see how simple it is to make. It is what it is right there. Now the idea very simply is I do not have to take the horses off, and I'm not going to jack it up. I'm not going to use one of those sort of things. What I'm going to do, let's say our rear tire here is needing to be replaced. We've had a blowout or something like that. First thing I want to do is loosen up all those nuts. Get those nice and loose. Then we're going to drive onto that and completely take those nuts off, pull it off. Of course, if you haven't loosened the nuts off, it's just going to spin round and round, and you're going to have to come back off and do that again. So get yourself ready, you loosen those off, get your spare tire ready to go, and then as much as possible, if you think you're just going to be driving straight ahead, then this is what we're after. We want to drive straight up onto that. Now you can buy these at a lot of different stores now. They've started to get real popular, and mostly you drive up and there's a little dip here that helps cradle your tire and also helps you know when you've got there. Okay, so oh Max, we'll just shut you in there, my friend, because we're going to go for a little journey here. So I'm just going to drive onto that, stop, change the tire. Now, as you can see here, this isn't touching the ground. I mention this, it seems obvious that it's not supposed to, but I mention this because you'll have some trailers where this isn't enough height. It depends on the type of suspension they have. If they've got very loose suspension, this could actually still be on the ground and you would need a taller jack. So one size does not fit all. Okay, you might need just to try it, but you can see how this works. I'm up on there, there's the center, we're all good, everything's as it should be, and I can go about changing that tire. The horses are on, minimum fuss, and then once that's on, you simply reverse it off. Couldn't be simpler. Number one, for a better journey for your horse, you want to make sure that all, in this case 4 tyres I have, so all 4 tyres are on even pressure, the same pressure, okay? Now how much, you might take some recommendations on that, depends on the suspension, the load you're carrying, all those sort of things. But if you've got some at 20 pounds and other 40 pounds and some at 32, it's not going to make for a very good ride for your horse. So that's one. The other, there's grease inside the hubcaps here. Now, I'm not a mechanic. In fact, anything mechanical and we usually don't get on very well. But I know they're supposed to have grease in them. And that's something either you'd check or you'd have somebody maybe at your garage check for you. Because when they start to get to where there's not a lot of grease in there, not only are you doing damage to the mechanics of it, but there's squealing. Okay, there's a noise that comes from there that your horse is going to hear a long time before you hear it. And all those sort of noises, that piercing sort of whiny noise, he doesn't want to travel with that for hours and hours. So those are just a couple little things you can do to make his journey better. Okay, just again, quick tip here. So, trying to walk just a mile in your horse's hooves, I'm going to recommend that you actually travel in your trailer while somebody drives it, not on the road. Okay, I'm not recommending that. Around an arena, out in the pasture here, something like that. Hear what you can hear. Are there rattles? Are there bangs? Are there things that you can adjust? A bit of duct tape and maybe some vet wrap goes a long way to quietening things down in there. So all these rattles that go on, they can really put horses off, hour and after hour of these rattles. So I would suggest you do that so you get to see, hey, you know what, I could probably do something about that or that. And while you're there, think about the things that can catch a halter or can catch a rope, because most trailers have them. Some have a lot, some not so much. And these trailers are often designed by engineers. Okay, so from an engineering point of view, they might be nice, they might be sturdy, but they might just have some things that catch. And again, a bit of duct tape might be all it needs. So really check your trailer out with that view in mind and help make it a better place for your horse.